Hello everyone, Benevolent History here, and I'm here to give you another Shogun 2 Total War battle replay. And you can see we're playing on the rice field. It's me and Hannibal playing against our enemies, TheTruth and Hattori Hanzo. This battle will probably discuss surrounding tactics, because Hannibal and I basically chose a cav heavy build because I personally think that cavalry owns the battlefield, because you have cavalry, you have mobility, and you have the ability to easily surround your opponent. So the battle is going to begin. I'm going to pause this so you can see what units we have. You can see I'm on the right and Hannibal's on the left. Now Hannibal brought an army of weak infantry army consisting of 2 Yari Ashigaru and 3 Longsword Ashigaru. He also brought 2 Bow Ashigaru as a missile component. He also brought Bocav named Raiders and some light cav, and he brought 2 great card as well and 2 katana cav as well. You can see, so he brought 2 light cav, apologies. So he brought very heavy cav on the left flank. I bought a similar build. I basically brought 4 units of Longsword Ashigaru, even though this one I named them Katana Samurai to distract my enemies, and I named these guys insignificant miniature computer generated soldiers, but because that's what they are. And I also have 2 Yari Ashigaru in front, and here are my computer generated spearmen. Yeah, what a creative name. And 2 Bow Ashigaru here, and I named these guys Bow Samurai. I have 2 Katana Cav here beside my army so I could charge them forward and attack the enemy lines. I have 2 matchlocks. One is named Matchlock Samurai, and one is hidden in the forest. Here's my other Matchlock Samurai. And I brought a cavalry component of 4 Yari Cav. 2 of them are veterans. This one is named Great Guard, Light Cav, Yari Cav. Notice that if an opponent brings a veteran unit named like that, you can see that the rightmost one is what the unit is. So don't be fooled by the fact that this is Great Guard, Light Cav. It's a Yari Cav. And here are my Solace Bringers, because they bring a lot of solace upon the enemies. Let's look at our opponents. And TheTruth brought 3 Bow Warrior Monks, 2 Matchlock Warrior Monks, and apparently 3 Yari Samurai. You might have troops hidden in the forest, because I see Katana Hero by Hattori Hanzo, and apparently Hattori Hanzo probably hid his units in this forest here. And Hattori Hanzo also brought his Avatar General Bodyguard, of course, a Yari Cav unit, and a Great Guard unit. So I'm gonna play this battle, see what comes next. Oh, here's a Yari Hero by Hattori Hanzo here. They're just standing around. I think they might be in like a box formation or something. So with the cav heavy army, it's best to concentrate all your cav on one flank and threaten your opponent's flank very heavily by outflanking it with cav. Basically, with the cav heavy army, you want your opponent to be threatened by this huge cav force. And with the cav heavy army, you should know that you should only fight with cav when you have the advantage. Never engage your cav against enemy spearmen or against matchlocks when they're obviously facing against you. So you can see here Hannibal and me are taking both of the flanks. Hannibal with the left flank, mine with the right flank with my cav. If you look at our opponents, you see that you see that this huge line of troops just threatening them from the left flank, the center, and on the right flank. So it's really daunting for our opponent, and in response it looks like our opponents are gonna hide in this forest essentially, which to be honest, it isn't a bad plan, but the problem is this forest is really tiny, and if they hide all the troops in this forest, we're gonna easily surround it. Our opponents probably should have fell back to forests like these where it's bigger. Anyway, you can see my opponent here hit a few cav units in the forest. I noticed that they were all katana cav, so I immediately rushed all my yari cav up and surrounded these katana cav and totally decimated them. Because you should know that yari cav are better than katana cav in a one-on-one engagement. So in one fell swoop, I easily surrounded all his katana cav with my yari cav, and I totally decimated them. I didn't even need help from my matchlock. You see, something similar is happening on Hannibal's front. It looks like his opponent is charging his Great Guard units in quite foolishly, and this allows Hannibal to send up and outflank these Great Guard units and totally own them. Oh, never mind. Just one Great Guard, one Yari Cav. Yeah, opponents made the blunder of sending the Cav units out unsupported like that, especially since we had the definite Cav advantage. You can see I'm moving my Yari Cav and separating them, like so. Like a huge flanking maneuver and to threaten my enemy very heavily. So I'm also being kind of cautious while I'm marching through these woods, because my opponent might have hid some units in these woods. So I don't want to put myself in a bad situation, get myself ambushed. Anyway, you can see Hannibal is also sending up his cav, also to outflank and surround. And our opponents here are hiding in the woods because cav have a pretty weak cav are pretty weak in the woods, so they're going to try to take advantage of that by hiding in the woods. See here, the problem is this wood here is really tiny, and it allows us to easily surround it. I guess in this situation, it's not just any wood that you could surround. If your opponent positions himself on top of a small hill or maybe in a small wood like this, your best bet is probably to surround him from all sides, especially on the hill, because on the hill you really need the advantage of being able to surround your opponent. So if you look at the map here, you can see that we basically surrounded our opponents in some sort of crescent shape. Looks like a donut, but it's not a donut. Some cav is being positioned, more cav is being positioned, and I set my lone sword, Ashigaru, I believe, to this flank in order to assist in surrounding these guys. I'm gonna avoid engaging my bow units with these woods because I know one of them has bow warrior monks and warrior monk, matchlock warrior monks. So I don't want to run headlong. I want Hannibal to get in position first before we actually go ahead and surround these guys. Because when you're going to surround, you want to do your best to engage all of your troops at once in order for that morale penalty to hit pretty badly. 'Cause, 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 Anyway, at this point in the battle, I believe I'm rushing all my troops in. I'm gonna get ready for my katana cat to do the business, and I'm rushing my Boro Ashigaru in first so that these guys can get hit by the matchlock fire of the matchlock warrior monks. See, he's setting up some flame arrows, but it's not gonna do that much damage. Maybe like five kills against one unit. Looks like I lost 10 katana cab, but it's not much. So you can see here that the matchlock fire totally devastates my Boro Ashigaru, but that's fine because my Boro Ashigaru can take it. They're just like a small meat shield. And at the same time, I'm basically setting up my cav to do harassing maneuvers. Let's put this in slow motion. You can see here, you can see from the top down, I'm setting up my Yari cav from behind. I don't care if I run into spearmen at this point because I just want to do some disruption, charge in my troops, and then charge my Yari cav back out. At the same time, I'm setting up my lone sword Ashigaru from the front. I'm setting it my computer-generated spearmen, my Yari Ashigaru from the front, my katana cavalry from the front as well, and I put my avatar bodyguard Razordark, you can see here, in stand and fight formation. This will boost all my troops. This boosts the stats of all my troops very high. And you can see here that Hannibal's also moving his troops now, while my troops are basically engaged with all these monks and what are these? These monks, samurai, and all these whatnot. It's just a huge mess at this point, with Hannibal and I just totally surrounding these guys. So I'm gonna press play. So you can see here that some of my lone sword Ashigarus are wavering at this point. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all because I basically already surrounded these guys. So my lone sword Ashigaru will probably not rout because they have this morale benefit because of my looks like I putting my avatar general bodyguard up, and I'm gonna move him closer so they can do standard fight. Anyway, I'll let you get some close-ups. So right now at this point, all of Hannibal's troops are basically in, and basically we're surrounding all of these guys, and poor dudes, look at these guys. It looks like basically all of the Truth's units are routing, well at least most of them, except maybe his avatar general's bodyguard. Anyway, all of these troops are routing. Even if they had the advantage of being in the woods, it still is not enough to compensate for the fact that they're being surrounded. This is essentially how you fight hill campers, unless they're like red line camping. But if you're fighting a person who's hill camping, it's best to surround the enemy, because by surrounding the enemy, you'll get the advantage of surrounding your opponent, because even if your opponent is able to have the hill advantage, you're able to easily surround your opponent and get the morale penalty there. So you can see here that the last units alive are these this Yari hero unit and this Katana hero unit. Personally, I don't think the hero units are very that important, because most of the time that they're just basically the last unit standing. They don't make that much of a difference, because the hero units are very low in number, that it's not worth using them. And apparently that's the end of the battle. Good game to our opponents. Hope you learned something and hope you enjoyed watching this.